Welcome to a little corner of consciousness, where we embark on this journey of consciousness expansion together, one coherent step at a time. On a little corner of consciousness, we explore coherence, expansion, and frequency as we move deeper into our wholeness together. I'm your host, Stephanie Ablett. Welcome to the show. Hello, my lovely listeners. Welcome back to another episode of A Little Corner of Consciousness. I'm your host, Stephanie Ablett. Welcome. Come get cozy. Come listen in for another episode. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening and supporting. This week, I would love to talk to you about being intentional about how we are interacting with the field in which we live, how we are being brought into higher awareness to engage with the field that is the all at a much deeper level, so that we are creating from a place of higher intention, from higher consciousness, from understanding that we are co-creating this world in which we all live, and from a level that benefits all, that benefits the collective consciousness of the all. So I've been working on this course that I'm releasing soon that is about sacred geometry and about sacred geometry as energetic architecture. And it's teaching about the use of the flower of life, the Sri Yantra, and Metatron's cube as intelligent divine design, as intelligent structural energetic geometries that are already interwoven into our consciousness and are already woven into this reality in which we live. And so it got me thinking about bringing more of an awareness about the way in which we move through our life. We are growing and changing in consciousness on a daily level, and we are all collectively being amplified and expanded at this time. And so we are being invited to interact with our reality, interact with our environment, interact with our life in a deeper way, so that we are truly becoming the co-creators of our life, of our environment, of this collective experience that we are all going through. We are not just this physical body. We are consciousness that is housed within this physical body. And our consciousness is interwoven into everything that is in a field that is the consciousness of the divine. That is what I truly believe. And so, as consciousness in a body, we are being invited to understand that as consciousness, we are divine creators. We are able to create from a higher perspective, from consciousness first, from our engagement as consciousness with energy, that then trickles down and shifts and changes our physical world and the way in which our physical life unfolds. And so, as consciousness, as a consciousness that can have an effect on physical reality, we have a responsibility to move through this world, move through our life in a different way now. Now that we have the conscious awareness that we are co-creators of our life, that we can co-create this reality, we are being invited to interact and create from a higher level of awareness, from higher consciousness. And so what I'm getting at with this is with this course that I'm bringing out about sacred geometry, it's about using sacred geometry to understand your inherent divine design and the inherent divine design of sacred geometry itself. And that when you work with it, you are working at a higher level so that the sacred geometry can work within your energetic structure, within your energetic field, and help you to co create, help you to exist in more harmony, in more coherence, and in through a lens of higher consciousness. And so, yeah, so the invitation is to understand that you have an effect on reality. Understand that you now have a higher level of conscious awareness that you can grasp this, right? You can grasp the understanding that you are co-creating your life, you are co-creating the way in which your life unfolds, and therefore have a responsibility to how that unfolds and how you are able to allow it to unfold with more harmony, with more peace, with more coherence, with a deeper connection to the inherent divine design that is life itself. If we use sacred geometry to help cleanse ourselves, to help amplify ourselves, to help purify ourselves in the most genuine way. I don't mean in a way that, organized religion would use that to say that we need to repent and we need to purify and we need to cleanse ourselves of our humanity or of our sins or, any of that kind of stuff. I'm not using those terms in that way. What I'm saying is to reconfigure, to purify our fields, our own geometry back to its own divine design. We are all created from the divine. We are all created from the perfect divine design that is our own inherent nature. As we've lived on this planet, as we've lived in this life, we have been manipulated, we have been programmed, we have been conditioned to believe specific things. We have been programmed and conditioned to act in certain ways. We have been programmed and conditioned to turn against a lot of what is our own divine nature, our own inherent power as a divine creator, as a piece of the divine. And so now that we have this higher awareness as our consciousness is expanding, we have the opportunity to create in a more coherent way through everything that we do. And using sacred geometry helps you to clear away the programming, the conditioning, the patterns that we have all collected and accepted as quote unquote ourselves, which has limited us in so many ways, which has caused us all to have distorted actions, to have distorted beliefs, to have distorted thoughts, to have incoherence in much of our lives, in much of the things that we do, in the actions we take, because our initial intentions or thoughts or beliefs are distorted. They are not in coherence with our own divine nature. And so it causes all of this distortion on multiple levels. And so that's what we see in our world now, why there is so much chaos and distortion and confusion and manipulation. But we now are at a level of consciousness where we can understand this and where we can grasp the fact that we are constantly creating in this world, in our life. And so we can take responsibility by being conscious creators and choose to create from coherence and from harmony and from divine design. And so, what that might look like is using sacred geometry to help organize your field in a more coherent way. So, in this course, I talk about how the flower of life can be imprinted in your field and in different ways in your environment so that it is having a beneficial effect on that reality, on your field, by naturally reorganizing, cleansing, clarifying, harmonizing, and bringing coherence to your field and to your environment. It naturally has divine intelligence to act in this way, to create this level of coherence, this level of harmony in its own existence, wherever it shows up. And so you can use this sacred geometry, the flower of life, to help to clear away the things that have been patterned and programmed and conditioned in your body, in your environment, in your thoughts, in your field of energy, and the way in which that you are acting or taking action in your life. And so, yeah, this is an invitation to see how that would unfold in your life, to see yourself from that level of conscious co-creation, to see yourself taking that level of responsibility that you can, in fact, have a positive, beneficial effect on your reality in every moment. And that when you understand that you can take that level of responsibility and can act from that higher level of awareness, you can create such magnificent ripples of coherence and healing and harmony to everyone that you interact with, everyone that is in your life, every environment that you show up in, that you exist in. You can act from an incredibly heightened level of awareness and conscious co creation by understanding that you are co creating in every moment. And now that you understand that, you can create every moment from harmony and coherence and conscious co creation. I just love this idea. I just love this theory, say, of the way in which we get to choose to co create in this life at this current level of awareness, at this current level of consciousness, as we continue to expand in consciousness more and more and more. We are collectively expanding in consciousness kind of indefinitely right now. It just keeps going and going and going. Everything keeps deepening and deepening and deepening. More and more is being revealed to us as we continue to explore our own consciousness and our own existence as consciousness in a body, instead of being caught up in the idea that we are a physical body that happens to have consciousness. We are the consciousness. We are woven into everything that is. We have the capacity to understand at a divine level. The more that we lean into it, the more that we remember that we are woven into the consciousness of the divine itself, the more that we let down the barriers that we put up through our smaller understanding of ourselves as a human being instead of as consciousness. And so, what happens in the world if we move in this way through the world? If we choose to exist as a conscious co creator and choose to structurally change the environment in which we exist in every moment to one of coherence and harmony. This is what I'm trying to teach in this course that I'm creating on sacred geometry. And I don't even want to say teach because this is just a remembrance. This is just us remembering what our true divine nature is and how we were divinely designed to exist in this reality as consciousness expressing itself in this physical reality. And when you choose to exist on this level, in this awareness, I don't like to use the term level because it's not something we climb up or down, it's not hierarchical, it's just remembrance. But as we choose to exist from this understanding and from this awareness, life becomes absolutely divine. There is such richness, there is such devotion, there is such gratitude and grace and beauty and love that cannot even be expressed with those terms. It becomes unbounded, it becomes unbelievably expansive through your being, through your awareness, through the expression of energy in your body, through the openness of energy in your body. My heart has exploded open in such a profound way that I feel like I have never walked taller or felt myself so open to just being in this existence. It has become truly profound and rich and beautiful and abundant. And I just cannot wait to keep exploring in this way, to keep deepening this understanding and our ability to create from such a devotional, organized, coherent, clear, divine way. If that makes sense. To just really have this connection in every moment and connection to the way in which our life is unfolding and the way in which we get to interact with everyone throughout our day, the way in which we get to hold ourselves, hold our energy, hold the structure of the field in which we exist in. Things just deepen so richly, so purely, so beautifully. This level of existence becomes something truly, truly miraculous and divine. And so that is what I wanted to share with you this week. And what I want to inspire others to consider, to contemplate, to move into, to choose to exist in such a way that every moment gets to be divinely orchestrated from an understanding of coherence and harmony and beauty, and how, with that as our anchor, with that as our foundation, how marvelous and beautiful and wonderful our life gets to be as it ripples out and unfolds from there. If coherence, if love, if harmony becomes our foundation, how does life unfold from there? That is the question I leave you with today. I love you so much. If you are interested in taking this course, I'll leave a link below to head over to my website where you can join my mailing list. That's maybe the best way. I will make sure that I make it well known when it's ready. It's almost ready. And I'm very, very excited for what it will help others remember. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for existing in a level of consciousness that can explore this freely and with delight. Thank you for having the curiosity to open yourself up to these ideas. Thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for existing. I love you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Hello, lovely listeners. Thank you so much for giving your time and energy to this episode of A Little Corner of Consciousness. Now that you have received this transmission, give yourself time to ground it in. Allow it to land in your body and to move through your body. Let the energy move through your centers to your root and down into the earth. Bring it all the way down into the center of the earth and let the transmission become grounded, rooted, and embodied. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share. Please leave a review. Please download, follow the show. Help me to reach more individuals. And if you'd like to learn more about my work, visit stephanieavlet.com. I'm sending you so much love. Until next time.